Yeah, that you can't put it up there. You have to really just be careful. You can't just go and shove. You really just have to be careful.
That's what. Okay, but that's not what you said when I asked the first time. You know what? Never mind. We're on the internet.
Oh, damn it, internet.
Yeah, we're live in front of
Billions.
a number of sentient life forms.
I maybe. Who knows?
A number.
a number of people
Yeah.
or beings or whoever they are. They're there, man.
There could be, mice in the walls. That counts.
There could be. I mean, I had mice in my walls, so it makes sense.
I mean, it doesn't count like, in our statement from YouTube. You know how we get a statement.
Yeah.
From YouTube.
We got a statement of please stop recording this show.
Yeah, but there's living beings that are within earshot. Yesterday I had a big fucking millipede in here on the wall, so that's more. I think they can hear or something. They can feel the vibrations of my voice. That's more people, beings.
There's just a fucking millipede feeling my vibrations,
Yeah.
Oh man, Stu, how are you today?
God bless America. I was having a rough time, but then I saw Drake's thick, meaty hog, and my day has just been great since then, honestly.
It went from awful to great after that?
That's right, yeah. Really brightened my day. How about you?
I mean, that humbled me so badly. I mean, there's only so few of us with micro penises left out there, we can't. But, I'm all right. I'm exhausted, It was a work day, but, it's the first time I've had to actually work in probably 4.5 years. So it's all right. Eventually we'll get past that.
Well, you know what they say.
I really don't. I don't listen to anybody but myself, man.
Work will set you free.
God damn it. Stip, you want to tell the people what we're doing here?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Talking Out Our Ass. It's an interview show where Sam and I are your handsome hosts. And we are here to interview a guest every time we do an episode, every 2 weeks or so. Now, the catch here, the twist, the cork, if you will, is that the guest we bring on, they bring the topic that the interview is going to be about. And the guest hasn't told us what that topic is. We have, as of this second right now, Sam and I have no idea what this episode is going to be about or what we are going to have to formulate an interview about to keep our guest and the rest of you people entertained. It's dumb. You shouldn't be watching it. Do something else.
Yes.
But if you're a masochist or something, stick around. It'll be fun. And I guess that's all we need to say to bring on our guest, right? We've got one. You did get one, right?
I think so. I'll have to double check, but pretty sure. Oh yeah, we did get one, didn't we? Let's bring her on. It's Janice, everybody. Hi, Janice.
Hi. Hello to two of my favorite asses here. It's good to see you guys.
Oh.
That's so nice.
I'm so flattered.
No one's ever said that to me before.
Well, people should be telling you that more often, Sam, honestly.
Oh, well, thank you, Janice. Wow.
You should at least be in the top 5 of most people's asses.
We don't get a lot of positive adjectives thrown our way generally. So
no, we don't.
Oh wow! Well, let me do it first.
It's tough to be a white man in America right now.
It really is. It's really rough. We can't say anything anymore.
Nope.
As a fellow white man, I empathize. I am absolutely just
you get it.
Yeah, I do. I completely get the struggle. You just wake up. You're forced to see Drake's massive hog on Twitter, and yeah.
Really,
The rest of the day just feeling absolutely insignificant.
insignificant is the word for sure.
Yeah. I mean, when you got a dick as big as the state of Florida, do what you got to do with it, I guess.
That would be really, I think you'd die probably, because that's a lot of blood. Like, you'd need a lot of blood.
People get centrifuges all the time. It's fine. Science. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to picture like where on Drake's dick Epcot would be, like on the movie. I've never been to Florida, so
the easiest joke would say the balls, but I mean,
Yeah, but that's different. That's like
right.
Yeah, the
well,
balls, that's like Tallahassee, right? That's in the Panhandle.
Yeah. I was gonna also make a geography joke. I'm glad.
So if you're doing it like this.
Again, I've never been to Florida. We're gonna have some angry Floridians.
Yeah.
Let them be angry. They're already in bed.
Come in the comments and just tell us that we're all full of shit. And
that's right.
You are all full of shit. Okay, perfect.
That's right.
Now we can go on.
Send us, Sam. Do we have an email they can send hate mail to? Because that's really all I ever want.
We actually do. It's
theallsportscene@gmail.com. Guys. Death threats at this guy right here. Death threats, hate mail, anti-Semitic slurs, all
right.
the allsportscene@gmail.com. Let's see what you got. Come on.
I will read all of them and cry to myself in the shower. It's fine.
Yeah, this is like the opposite of Jackass. Like, Jackass says, don't submit videos, or whatever show that is. Don't submit videos. We're not gonna review them. We're not gonna play them. We're the opposite. Like, please, by all means, send whatever you got.
Sign your name to it.
We're not regulated by any government body. What's gonna happen?
Right. What will happen? I guess we'll find out.
We'll fiend out. Anyway, right. Janice, what's this interview about?
All right. So y'all strapped in? Are you sitting back, relaxing, strapping
strapped
down?
on?
I am actually, yeah.
Or strapping on. I definitely won't discriminate against that. All right. My topic is aviation disasters, namely. Namely, the disappearance of MH370, and even more specifically than that, the conspiracy theories behind the disappearance of MH370. That is my topic. It is something that I have not. I have learned about this against my will. Well, mostly against my will. So I saw the Netflix documentary about a year ago, like as soon as it came out, and I was incredibly intrigued. I actually just watched it again about a few weeks ago, just in, mild anticipation for the show. And also, too, I was high as balls when I saw it the first time around.
There we go.
So a lot of the a lot of the aspects of the whole disappearance second time around, it further just confused me. I've completely just went through months thinking that, probably the most logical explanation is the one that actually happened, right? The plane just crashed, debris. The ocean is fucking terrifying. We essentially lost a complete just submarine full of dumb millionaires or billionaires not too long ago because they had the audacity to explore the sea. So, of course, a Boeing 777 going into the sea is not probably going to have a great success rate of surviving that. So the explanation behind why the plane was not in one piece, that makes perfect sense to me. But otherwise, I think I am just even further confused as to what actually happened to the plane, or at least why the course of the plane was turned south. So it was originally going from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, and then probably about an hour and a half into the flight, the pilot completely just says one thing to the Malaysian tower control people, and we're just like, all right, good night, we're done here. And then it's assumed that the Vietnamese would be taking over from here on out. So the Vietnamese never heard from MH370 after that. The plane just veered off to the left, and was never heard from ever again after that. So it essentially veered off course into the South Indian Ocean, and that is probably like the most plausible path it took. But there are so many other theories as to where the plane went. But the bottom line is no one knows where the fuck this plane went. But anyway, that is my opening. Ask away.
I love this so much. So what has there? So yeah, I remember how. First of all, I remember the incredible amount of time that cable news spent on this.
Yes.
I mean, it was all you could hear about in whenever that was, like 2014. For weeks and weeks, they were talking about this thing. And just like you, I don't know. I mean, you already know more about this than I do, because every single thing that I've learned about this has been against my will. And I think you've made me realize just in your opening remarks that I've been waiting for a reason to invest in this story. Because I mean, who doesn't love a good plane crash?
Well,
So,
yeah, you and the families of the victims, like to this day, no one knows what happened. And I actually looked to see if there were any developments between now and when the Netflix document came out about a year ago. And apparently, family members are to this day are still trying to petition the Malaysian government to reopen up an investigation to once again look for this goddamn plane.
has there been I thought you said something about pieces of the plane. Have they found pieces of the plane?
Apparently, yeah. So probably the most obvious question that everyone had when the whole like plane crash theory came out was that, all right, so the plane crashed. So where the hell is the plane? So at first, given the course of the plane and where they had originally thought the plane had crashed, and so they believed that it had crashed in the Indian Ocean. And so it turns out that as soon as satellites found that the course of the plane was actually further west rather than east, they figured out that they had been looking in the wrong area. So if you are picturing a world map right now,
I'm looking at one.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, even better. The marvels of technology.
Yeah.
So essentially the ocean to the west of Australia, it's massive, it's huge, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, right.
So there's a huge expanse between there and essentially the eastern coast of Africa that this plane could have gone in. So the theory that it might have crashed in that area makes sense because apparently there were parts of the plane that were found on like around the coast of Madagascar. And so it's bits and pieces. Yeah, apparently it was like part of a tail from a Boeing 777.
I mean, Madagascar is really far from Malaysia.
Yes. Yeah. So in this document, I believe they said this in the document that the ocean currents would have been enough to bring debris from essentially the western coast of Australia to the eastern coast of Madagascar.
Oh boy, this is. I mean, you're like your topic lets me look at a map. I mean, this is just. This is the best.
Exactly. It's almost like
hog heaven right now.
Like cracking open like a new fantasy novel where you're in this like make-believe world and you're just looking at the map at the beginning of the book and you're just like, all right, here's this world we're getting into. Except the world that we're getting into right now is our world and it's a fucked up one. So
yeah. It's gritty, right? It's a gritty, realistic tale. Gosh, Madagascar is really far. I'm just kind of struck by that right off the bat here. Also, you mentioned some conspiracy theories. I'm not aware of what they are, but I have to believe because this is the train of thought that happened, right? You mentioned the families of victims. I have to believe that there's a conspiracy theory, at least among dumb Americans,
Of course,
You know,
of course.
the QAnon types and whatnot. Yeah, exactly, Sam. That that there never was any plane. There are no victims. For whatever reason, this entire story has been fabricated from the ground up. Are there people who think that you're aware of? Because I would assume there are.
Just have it be a complete psyop from the Malaysian government.
Yeah,
Actually,
I don't know.
no.
I don't know who benefits from this story. It's certainly not Boeing. You know, maybe it's like a Chinese smear campaign against an American, industrial titan such as Boeing, and thus began the downfall of Boeing.
Yeah, I mean, I have my grievances against Boeing that I might not get
Well,
into.
I think everyone does at this point. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely,
they've
absolutely.
lost like a lot of like most of their credibility.
Yeah, and that happened really quickly, and that definitely has to do a lot with prioritizing profits over engineering. So anyway, I'm
You don't say.
I am getting off course here.
Hey, so did the plane.
But anyway, I think that I read an academic paper on the conspiracy theories on MH370, which I thought
love
was and that actually is what really wanted to pushed me to bring this topic to you guys, was that it really dove into why people come up with conspiracy theories. And so, of course, I mean, the most plausible psychological explanation is that when we're missing information, or when we really have a hard time reconciling with things that might be difficult or hard to understand, a conspiracy theory is just naturally kind of formed. So in a way, they're sort of like a comfort mechanism.
Yeah.
They're a way to essentially just tell ourselves that, there is an explanation. It's kind of fucked up, but there is an explanation. But yeah, there are a lot of just conspiracy theories that are off the wall. I think probably the two that I think are the most crazy. One says that a black hole opened and just ate the plane up.
But nothing. But it didn't need
Hell
anything
yeah.
else. Just this plane.
Yeah, and I mean, like, anyone who has taken a field trip to a planetarium knows that, if you're there in 6th grade, you know that a black hole just envelops everything around it.
Correct.
Exactly. So yeah, that was a pretty funny one. The other one was alien abduction.
That's what I was gonna get.
So the alien abduction theory was apparently birthed when people said that they were able to dial the cell phones of some of the passengers who were on the plane. So that was debunked by a cellular expert, saying that sometimes, even if, say, someone's phone is destroyed, it still may ring because it's essentially looking for the connection. So therefore, it rings to make you think that it is currently connecting you to said person. So that was debunked pretty quickly, and also too, aliens just no.
Damn, that would have been fitted so nicely with a topic we had about a month ago. So
Yes, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. Let's call Charisi up, because now we're talking about aliens. So that'd be perfect. Boy, I need to. We need. You know what we ought to do is take the show on the road and go to Kuala Lumpur and start asking around. You know?
We're gonna get down to the answers of what happened.
Because this is a fresh story.
Nobody's talking about it anymore.
Right. It's only been a decade now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, holy shit. God damn it. Why did I just realize that? Wow.
Yeah. It's been it's almost going to be a decade since this happened, which is absolutely wild. So next year is going to be the 10-year anniversary of the disappearance of this plane.
Did it not happen? Let's see. March 2014. No, it's next month. Next month it'll be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I know my wife was obsessed with this when it happened. She wanted to know everything, and hear about everything, and she definitely talked to me about it, and I retained absolutely none of it because
I was about to say, is she watching the show? I hope.
Oh, she is. She
Oh,
is.
amazing.
She's very excited. So she said that.
You know, he doesn't give her a choice.
It's in her contract.
Now, are you? I've become aware of. I caught myself a little bit up to speed on the progression of Boeing's fuck ups here in recent years. Is this before any of that? Because I know that, particularly, I think in Southeast Asia, there were software problems that Boeing had that was throwing off things like the course charting and that kind of. Am I onto anything here, or is
yeah.
related?
Yeah, actually. So there were two disasters that happened. I think it was 24. No, it was definitely like 2019. One was an Ethiopian Airlines a flight, and there was also a Lion Air flight, which flies also out of Malaysia. Indonesia, sorry. So apparently on the new Boeing 737 MAX planes, and I think this was I have it right here. It was a feature on the 737 MAX 8 where apparently there is a sensor. They call it the angle of attack sensor.
That's right.
So,
I remember learning about this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So when a plane takes off, of course, it essentially uses the angle of attack to lift the plane off the ground, and the plane goes. Whoo! So what happened was that the angle of attack sensor just stopped functioning, and it takes over the plane. So it tries to correct itself by going nose down, but of
putting
course,
the nose down.
Right. If the plane is absolutely just going at like 500, 600 miles an hour and going down at the same time, that is a recipe for disaster. So this happened twice, and I believe in the course of 2 months. And this is all in the Boeing documentary that is on Netflix right now. So definitely watch that and get the actual facts from my poorly paraphrased summary of how an angle of attack sensor works. So yeah, the great thing about that, I use the great term loosely, that after that, many countries around the world decided to ground the 737 MAX 8 due to the safety to these safety worries. Weirdly enough, the United States did it as well. It was one of the last countries to ground the MAX 8. There is a funny video of Trump actually doing something responsible, if you can say that. So yeah. One other side note is that Southwest Airlines, I know like a lot of us fly Southwest, I do as well. They have a huge fleet of 737 MAX 8s. And I believe right now that is, I think, 25% of their fleet right now. So yeah. I believe after some inspections, and I think it was grounded for about 3 to 4 months, the grounding was lifted, and so 737 MAX 8s were allowed to fly again.
Did they put through like a software patch for that, or
that I don't know.
I mean, I assume, right? Because if the software was telling the plane to fucking nosedive.
Right. Yeah, it is. Oh my God, Jackie, I'm sorry. I mean, I should mention that I actually do love flying. I don't mind it. I'm the weirdo that actually gets excited for flights, just mainly because I think aviation is fascinating. I think just like the whole like aspect of flight and planes are interesting.
That's super fucking cool. Super cool.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I light up like I'm a 8-year-old talking about planes. So
I love that.
Yeah,
planes are sick, but I can't say I get excited for flights just because I'm poor and 6'3". So
That's true.
it is just miserable physically for me when I fly commercially.
That's very understandable, and yeah, I definitely get that. I get that as well. But yeah, I just let the childlike sense of wonder take over, and it typically just pushes any of the extensive research I've done on aviation disasters away. So, my goodness.
Oh, bazinga, baloney. Oh, for the kill.
Well, I guess that would stop the planes from smoking because you don't want the planes to smoke.
That's true.
Oh, this just keeps getting better. Dig up.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I actually have some dates here. It's a Lion Air Flight 610, which was on October 29th, 2018.
Okay.
So that not too long ago. And it was Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 on March 10th, 2019.
That's right. And so I remember now that it's like you said, the angle of attack sensor would tell them we're pointed too far up, we're gonna stall. And so it would auto put the nose of the plane down. And so the pilots are like trying to fight this thing, like, no, go up. And yeah, they just fucking, like you said, like 500-mile-an-hour straight into the ground is probably not a good recipe for survival there.
Exactly. And according to the documentary, pilots have, I think, 10 seconds or less to react to the, I guess, notification that the plane is going to start to nosedive. So I think the big beef with, or the big beef that pilots had with Boeing, and this is very valid. I like as someone who appreciates and respects pilots, I feel as if this is right of them to do. That they essentially had no training of how this sensor works or what to do if the sensor malfunctions, which yeah, that's kind of important. You kind of have to know as a pilot that your sensor is going to malfunction.
Yeah, you kind of need to like be prepared for what the plane is going to do that you're flying. But we can't, that would cost money. We can't train folks on the new, the new program, right? That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm,
You're pilots. You're supposed to know that the plane's just supposed to fly. They don't need to know how or why.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I have like a strange feeling that when Boeing is essentially just putting together the instructional materials, the documentation for this plane, it's typically just like, hey, we're gonna push some buttons and plane go in air. Like I feel as if it's a lot more complex than that, though.
Right, and here's the compartment where we keep the cocaine. Let's see, Sam. I don't think you've asked a question yet.
I haven't, but I feel like I vaguely remember when this all happened, like 2 years later or something after it happened. Didn't they find the black box from the plane or like a part of it?
I don't think so, or at least like I don't remember.
Like they couldn't get any audio or anything, but I think they like found a part of it and were hoping that like more would show up, but I don't think it ever did.
Yeah, or and this is me, of course, just scrounging. I might have been high again for the last 2 episodes, but
Who's among us?
I believe they found something, but they also, like, for whatever reason, it was non-functional for some reason. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to Google it. So
there we go. Technology. It's the future, baby. Boy, I maybe the Bermuda Triangle has just shifted to the other side of the world.
Bermuda moved.
It says here, a private search led by a U.S. firm ended in 2018. The plane's black box has never been found.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Here we go.
There are no good black box jokes.
Excellent Eurodance group from Italy. If you're familiar, if you like Eurodance music, there you go.
I'm familiar now.
Now, did any other like parts of the plane show up anywhere else?
I believe
than
just
that one spot?
just random pieces. I believe they found parts of the tail in Madagascar, off the coast of Madagascar, and I think they're just like, "What the hell is this? And why did it end up here?" And yeah, I guess like the big explanation was that the ocean currents in the Indian Ocean are strong enough to actually just pull all those pieces and have them wash ashore there. I believe in the documentary there was this guy. I believe he's American. He essentially took it upon himself to find all the pieces of this plane, and a lot of people don't. He essentially was on a lot of people's shit lists because of this, because he was poking around. He was just like all up in everyone's business. Let me see, plane parts.
Leave it to an American to take it upon themselves to do something.
Oh, okay. His name is Blaine Gibson.
What a dick!
Or what an idiot! This
Blaine.
So that
That's not a name.
On Wikipedia, it says the crew last communicated with air traffic control 38 minutes after takeoff only.
Yep.
So whatever happened pretty quick. Yeah, I'm starting to feel I'm starting to feel some similarity here between this and the aforementioned Titanic submarine debacle, where there was all this hubbub and the search and rescue, and boy, they could still be down there right now, and then we find out like no,
there was never a chance they were
there. They were missed instantly. Like they were reduced to nothing quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe they all signed a pact that was their suicide flight. Who knows?
Even though
so that was actually one of the theories that the pilot. I know Sam is like, I got it right. Yeah,
oh, yeah. Got one.
So one of the other conspiracy theories was that the captain hijacked the plane and essentially went on a suicide mission. So his life was a little complicated because apparently his wife left him, and he also had some weird like home things going on as well. So to also add some complication to it, so apparently the police, or was it the FBI, like some authority went into his house and got his flight simulator, and they found that he had taken like a similar path through a flight simulator that essentially went from Kuala Lumpur heading towards Beijing and then making a sharp left turn and then going south into the Indian Ocean. And then the flight path just ends. So
really?
Yeah. So
is that real? Is that confirmed that?
Yeah, apparently it's a real thing, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people think that it was just coincidental.
That's a crazy coincidence. If he had previously done in Flight Simulator exactly what this plane did.
Yeah, well, a lot of people also or at least the widely accepted theory was that the plane was deliberately thrown off course. So the pilot hijacking it is probably one of the leading theories. There's also another one saying that this might have been the first successful cyber hijacking, that someone essentially overrode
remotely, hacked the plane.
Right, exactly. Overrode the plane software and just veered it. But of course, too, you're also thinking, why? Like, what is the motive?
Yeah, I think that feels unlikely to me for a couple of reasons, because if you're doing a terrorism, right, you want to make some kind of a statement to somebody.
Precisely.
And a plane full of just regular people just disappearing and not causing any more destruction than just these people disappearing is not usually the goal of terrorism. And then also, if that were the case, this would have happened some more in the last decade, is at least is my, not that I profess to be inside the mind of a terrorist, But that's my thinking anyway.
Now, if I were
God, we're just gonna have the FBI joining the comment.
I was gonna
What
say
do you- what-
they might already be here.
What do you,
We're-
what
all
do you
three of
mean
us are-
going to? I don't know. I don't know what show you thought you were on. But,
All three of us are gonna end up on an FBI blacklist. It's gonna
We
be-
got Interpol. We got FBI.
again, speak for yourself, because Sam and I have been on that list. Like we're old news to them.
Oh yeah, they're all these jerks again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just get like another little tally mark next to your name, like there's someone manually sitting there with a little pencil and paper.
Well, sometimes when I get lonely, I talk to my NSA agent. hey, how you doing?
Like, hey, how are the kids? Yeah.
It's just it's just us and Alex Jones sitting in a room together talking about stuff. So
That's usually he's actually the next guest after Janice.
Oh my goodness, yeah, he's got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
he's gonna come on. Let me tell you what everything she said was wrong.
Yeah. The pilot was actually on a vegetarian diet, or I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck he believes. Like, isn't he like one of the guys that eats meat or something, or he just like
he doesn't even know what he believes.
You know what? That's a fine assumption to make. I don't think so, but who
Like,
cares? Who
I don't know
cares?
if I'm
Say
like
whatever you
mistaking
want.
him for any of those other meathead podcasters, but
You
I'm
are.
imagining him.
He's special, but we'll talk about him later.
I can just imagine him just like taking like scoops of like raw ground beef and just like eating it mid-show. That's what I would imagine would happen, like on his typical podcasts.
It's a good way to get ratings.
Oh.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, I would probably watch that. I mean, like not for very long, but I would watch it.
Oh,
Sandy Hook didn't happen. Now watch me eat this ground beef.
Yeah. See, but so like that's kind of the line of thinking for me is like the Alex Jones followers are probably of the opinion that this flight never existed. These people none of this ever happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I do have another theory that I think is like interesting. I don't think it puts any weight onto what actually happened, but it might sheds at least some kind of like explanation as to why this plane might have been deliberately crashed. So apparently 20 employees that worked for Freescale, which is a company that no longer exists. Freescale makes semiconductors. And so apparently they were testing a semiconductor that they were developing on the flight, or maybe they were heading to Beijing to test it in China. I don't know.
Okay, sure.
And so apparently the plane was crashed because they didn't want the technology to fall into the hands of the Iranians, because it would have been a nightmare for Israeli defensive forces. Yeah, that's heavy. I know. Yeah. Let that marinate for a little while.
Boy, it usually takes no more than 3 layers deep of conspiracy theory before we start implicating the Jews. Is usually the rule of thumb. That's super interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew the Jews were behind this.
You know what it was? It was those damn space lasers. They took it out from the sky.
This was the first trial run of the space lasers. That's what it was.
That's what we're learning.
Low stakes. It's the global South. No one will care that much.
If anyone was going to find the real reason to the Malaysian Airlines flight missing, it was going to be us.
That's it.
We're gonna solve it just right here on this podcast.
We've cracked the case. It was Marjorie Taylor Greene's been right all along. This was the space laser. That's what did it.
Just be like, yes, Kate. I actually never watched Lost, but I am a huge Manifest fan. Terrible fucking acting. terrible
Oh, yeah.
acting, but I loved the entire show. So yeah, it certainly is along the same lines of a plane just disappearing without a trace, and then just lands like 5 years later. It's a fascinating show, and then like some other fucked up shit happens. Like I don't know, there's like a creepy kid that has powers, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, a lot of messed up stuff happens. So
I want to know more about this flight simulator story, because that, like, did it end up in the exact vicinity of the last radar point of contact from this plane over, what appears to be, somewhere between Malaysia and Sri Lanka here?
yeah, I believe it was like a similar route. I think what probably tipped, or at least what worried a lot of people, was that the end of the simulation was just over the ocean. Like it just cut short. So very similar as to where the satellites
spooky.
lost communication with the plane. Yeah.
Huh.
And I think also too that there was no distress signal from the plane, and so usually if you have any emergency of any kind on a plane, whether it's commercial or private or whatever, you squawk, and the squawk code for an emergency is 7700. So apparently this flight never did that. So that was the other strange thing about it as well. So I don't know if that puts more weight towards the pilot hijacking theory,
or aliens.
or aliens. I don't think an alien would be able to use a device like that. But yeah, essentially the flight simulator was a similar flight path.
That's really, I mean, to me that would seal the deal pretty much, that okay, this guy planned to, like, maybe there was something significant about the what are these called, the Nicobar Islands out there, that he wanted to go, he wanted to go dive underneath those with a big old plane.
Here we go. I just popped a little article from Reuters in the chat there.
I see that. Yeah, definitely. This is great.
Yeah, and I guess one other thing that they noticed was that when they were looking at the flight path, the plane went over the pilot's hometown. I can't remember the name.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this is definitely it was written it was editorialized, it was very dramatic, but it was something along the lines of the pilot definitely took a long look at his home before.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, okay, all right, let's tone that shit down a bit.
Yeah. Interesting.
What everybody should be taking away is this is why you're supposed to put your devices on airplane mode.
Yeah.
This is why it's important. You can make an entire plane go missing.
Now, who takes the brunt of the fallout for this? Is it the Malaysian government? Is it Boeing?
It's the Jews, man.
I mean, obviously it's the Jews, but
I think both. I think that there was a lot of pressure put on the Malaysian government to investigate and find the plane. So I do know that the efforts to try to find the plane were led by the Australian government, actually, given that they had originally thought that the plane had crashed closer to at least like the northwestern coast of Australia.
That is so far.
Yes.
And like so opposite direction of Beijing.
Yeah. It's the exact opposite direction of Beijing, actually.
I guess,
absolutely wild.
Well, I guess what I want to know is, according to this Wikipedia anyway, the last like radar signal that they got was out to the west of the Malaysia, Thailand peninsula there. So what made them think it was clear down by Australia?
I think it was because the plane was just going south, and they predicted how south the plane could have gone given how much fuel was in the plane.
Interesting. Like they thought like maybe this guy just really wanted to go see Antarctica one time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have enough fuel to do so, but sure.
Right. Well,
He's like, we can make it work. Don't worry.
The guy flew a big old plane into the ocean. We're not dealing with the brightest. What's the problem? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
I mean, what a knuckle.
This dummy.
Yeah, what a
It's supposed to be in the air.
Put it in the ocean. That's not where a plane goes.
Oh, this big ocean. Thought, you know what? That's where I want to go.
I see how he got confused, though. The sky is blue, the ocean's blue. At a certain point,
it was nighttime, though, so black. Actually, the sky
is black, the ocean's black. You know what I mean? I see the confusion at a certain point. And maybe he'd been awake for a while, and I get it. I'm empathetic to the pilot.
NATO, if you're watching this, put more lights in the ocean.
Yeah.
Stop the confusion.
What we got to do is just detonate more nuclear devices, and then there'll just be like a glow to the atmosphere, and it won't be so dark at night. That's the real, I think, solution.
Oh, see, we're Tommy's favorite asses too. There you go. I'm happy to be included in this triumvirate of great asses.
Well, we only had him on the other show, right? We got to have him on the show.
We did.
Shit. What, like, who in your research on this then, you rank kind of, I don't want to say your theory, but who is to blame? because usually, right? I mean, when these things happen, that's really what it comes down to, because the people are gone, they're not coming back. So what it
allegedly,
right? Unless they're on the alien starship and they're going to come back down with wisdom, which is always possible. Patrick or other wisdom. God, that's awful. Anyway, yeah, my question is, who should I be mad at about this?
Oh my goodness, that's an incredible question.
Thank you so much. Wow.
I feel as if probably the most rational party to be mad at is probably Boeing. If we essentially take any of these conspiracy theories at face value, and let's just say that the cyber hijacking thing actually happened, how shitty is your software that some random ass from probably thousands of miles away could hack into a Boeing 777, a huge ass plane, by the way. That is a massive plane. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Again, I don't know if anyone in the comments or anyone watching has seen the Boeing documentary. The whole synopsis of the whole thing was that they were replacing essentially engineers with suits, prioritizing profit over safety, which is unfortunately a common theme in corporate America. So given some of these, I would say that is probably the common denominator there, is to blame Boeing.
Yeah, my NSA agent's listening, so I'm not going to implicate capitalism any further than we have on previous episodes of the show. But
oh no, are we going to be thrown on a red list now? Is this red scare again?
You keep putting this in future tense,
yeah.
At least one of us isn't already on these lists.
Incredible.
We've been there.
I don't even have a VPN or anything. I don't bother. They, it's over for me.
They're gonna find me anyway. It's fine.
I mean, they have found me. They anytime like I said, I talk to my guy all the time, and he knows what I'm about. So, but yeah, I mean, I like thinking about your hacker thing, because like I don't know if anyone when you were kids had walkie-talkies that you play with, and the people are like, oh, don't use whatever certain channel because that's what the cops use or something. And it's like, wouldn't it be funny if their software is so shitty that like some kid like accidentally hacked it?
That's what I was thinking.
Right? Like some kid just dicking around and, oh, what does this button do? And he dropped a plane out of this guy.
Some kid's like playing with a drone.
Yeah.
Suddenly it gets crossed up with the airplane.
Stoop, I think you might have invented a new theory, actually. Like,
let's go.
There we go.
Yes.
Just because, like, all of the things
This is how we make it. This is how we.
This is where we take off.
This is how we get out of the suburbs.
Like all the things I've read about a cyber hijacking all infer that it was done deliberately. I think an accidental hijack or an accidental hacking would be hilarious.
And isn't it okay? Follow my logic here. Isn't that more likely? Because again, if it were deliberate, if it were an intentional hacking, you would have seen it happen again because they were successful. Like even if, let's say, okay, we don't care whoever's doing the hacking, right? We don't care about a target or making any statement. We just want to do a test run and see if this thing works. Okay, so that explains why they put the plane down in the middle of the ocean. As far as I know, there's no towers out there. So, but even if that were the case, you would have seen this happen more times then, because they're like, okay, we can hack the shit. Now let's do some fucking damage. But
right.
They didn't. But that never. This only happened the one time in 2014. So that's, I think, if there's hacking involved, somebody didn't mean to do it. It was just a big old whoopsie, and they haven't been caught.
Right. And I to be perfectly fair, if I realized that I was accidentally responsible for the deaths of 200 plus people, I would probably go into hiding.
Exactly.
Precisely. Yeah. Maybe like live on a remote island somewhere.
And it's also possible you don't know at any point that you did that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very possible. And I think probably the best thing about this entire thing, well, I use best very lightly. The most interesting is a better word. The most interesting thing about this entire thing is that, like, technically anything's possible. Like we still don't know what exactly happened. So, essentially that's where the conspiracy theories come in. Like we're comforting ourselves, we're telling ourselves what happened, so we get some sort of plausible explanation to explain the unexplainable.
That's right. I think probably like the majority of wars and suffering in the history of human civilization have come as a direct result of our need to assign meaning and find answers when we don't have them, because we can't stand the unknown.
That's deep, Stoop. I love that.
Thank you so much. I'm dancing around something. I don't know. What time is it? Is the human race redeemable?
We essentially went from, let's talk about aviation disasters to is the human race just redeemable? Like throughout the course of human history, is there a common thread through all the mistakes we've made? Right?
Is losing a passenger plane in the ocean just the penance we pay for our hubris as a species to think that we can conquer the skies?
I think that's actually another reason why I'm so fascinated with flight, is that it is kind of a little hubrisy.
Yeah, right. It's kind of a crime against God,
and that's especially why I love it.
Me too.
It's just sort of like, yeah, we essentially took the science and the concepts of flight and how to get an object off the ground and commercialized it and made it available so we can
Made it available and then quickly started to make it less available because
Yeah,
the less
commercialize
available-
the shit out of
Right,
it.
the less available something is, the more profitable it is. Yeah.
People
Exactly.
want to give me
Exactly.
money for it.
Just kidding, NSA agent. We love capitalism. Keep doing it.
Please do more.
Keep all of the colonialism. We love it. We love it so much. We love the imperialism. The United States is the good guys. We're spreading democracy all over the world. We're big fans over here.
Keep
Big
doing it.
fans of imperial capitalism here. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, Caitlin wants to know what
Yeah.
are each of your final theories?
Well, I
Ooh.
think I think I'm settled on mine.
Accidental.
I need to plant my flag in the accidental hacking. Yeah. That's what I'm going with. Like some kid was screwing around somewhere on the internet he shouldn't have been and just did a little whoopsie daisy and then kind of just like slowly closed his laptop and just went and had dinner. And that's it.
Man, this Call of Duty game looks crazy.
Right? That's what I'm going with.
Janice, what about you? What's your final theory of what happened?
Like kind of like at the top of the hour, I said probably the most simple explanation is the most plausible. I honestly don't know. Shit. Probably the theory that makes the most sense to me is that the pilot led the entire thing, whether he did so on his own volition or was like, say, I don't know, maybe he was blackmailed or
Coerced somehow.
coerced somehow to do it. Just mainly because a lot of the evidence points that or at least like the angle in which the plane apparently hit the ocean suggests that a pilot was probably controlling it the entire time. So that's what I'm leaning towards. So I don't know if I buy the whole pilot suicide thing. I feel as if it's a little like first of all, like why? I mean, not to make light of suicide, but there's like plenty of ways.
Right. You could have done that without taking 300 other people with you.
Precisely. So I don't know. Like just knowing what I know from this pilot, from what I've seen from the Netflix documentary, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would deliberately kill like 250 people because his wife left him. But I mean, you never really know what a person's truly capable of. So
maybe she cheated on him with all of those 250 people that were on that plane specifically.
My goodness. Wow.
Crazier things have happened.
Wow.
Let me see that roster of the plane.
I think
How
like
in the hell did they?
so Stoop, I think you need to like find the MH370 Reddit and posit that on there.
Ooh, yeah, they'll love me on there.
Yes, absolutely.
Sam, what's your final theory?
So my final theory is that you ever seen the movie not Flight Sully, you know, when that they hit the birds went through the engine and everything.
Yeah,
he
he was in the Boeing documentary. He actually was one of the pilots that yelled at Boeing. So yeah, he's a good
guy. Go Sullenberger. Same kind of thing. They hit a bunch of birds, right? I think the pilot panicked, grabbed the radio, and actually disconnected it so they couldn't contact the tower. And then from there, just all hell broke loose and down in the ocean they went.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that.
It's like slapstick comedy.
Birds aren't real.
That's true.
So
check.
I believe they also brought up, and this was brought up in the Boeing documentary, that they brought up a Mylar balloon getting caught on the angle of attack sensor. So maybe it was a Mylar balloon.
Just one.
Just one that said happy birthday, or maybe it was like one of the number balloons. Like that you see girls hold up in their
Yeah.
photos.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
It was one of
Yeah.
those.
I mean, it'd be funnier if it was like an "I'm sorry," like. What?
Or one that says "I love you" or something.
Yeah.
Get well soon.
Get well soon. Yeah. It just was right onto the windshield of the plane, and the pilot was like,
Somebody turn the wipers on.
they probably have wipers, right? I mean, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
On a plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They're little like things that go like this.
Yeah, sure. With the sound effects too. That's classic.
Yeah. That's exactly what they sound like. Yes, as someone who has been in a cockpit of a Boeing 737 before, I know exactly what it sounds like.
Have you been in the cockpit of any plane?
I've been in a simulator before, but I've never been in an actual plane.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was not flying. Someone who was way more experienced than me was flying the sim. I was just there for the ride. That's all.
Did they make a path into the Indian?
No. We were flying over Wisconsin. Actually, that was a simulation.
That's not as fun.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You just see a bunch of cows and farms, and
Yeah, beer.
That too.
Cheese.
Yeah. An entire lake of it.
Morbidly obese white people.
That too.
Well,
I see that every day.
This has been a lot of fun.
This has been a very joyful topic.
I would spend another hour talking about plane crashes with you. It's brought me a lot of joy.
I'm glad that I can bring some joy to you via plane crashes.
Hallmark, you found a new card to put.
That's what you're getting for your birthday next. I'm gonna find that card and mail it to you.
Very excited. Very excited.
All right, Janice, is there anything you want to plug or talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah. So the big project that I had been working on all this past off season. Oh shit! Yeah, we usually talk about sports, huh?
Not here.
The Baseball Prospectus Annual just came out last week. It is a big anthology of cool stories, cool essays, and also comments on all of the players that play baseball. So I was responsible for doing the comments on the Milwaukee Brewers. So I did a little bit of a deep dive and looked into that entire organization. Well, of course, it was the 2013 roster. I have no idea what the hell they're doing for 2014, honestly, but that's a topic for another show. But essentially, that's out. You can find it on Amazon. You can also buy it directly through Baseball Prospectus if that's more of your jam, or Barnes and Noble. So I'm in it. A couple of people who are great people who are smart about baseball are also in it as well. But yeah, so pick that up. It's a great read, I promise.
Awesome. That is
wow.
Incredible.
We keep getting like smart people on this show somehow. Just like. Really incredible.
Just wait till a couple of weeks when we have neurosurgeons and shit on this.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mm-hmm. Or Sully himself, like the show.
Yeah.
Well,
Janice, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Of course, I enjoyed talking out of my ass. It was lovely. I don't get to do this often, so
anytime you want to come back, the door is always open.
It's true. The metaphorical door.
The bathroom door is always open.
That is true.
But keep the goddamn toilet lid closed. God damn it, people out there! The fucking
Come
toilet
on.
has a lid for a reason.
Yeah.
Not for decoration.
Yeah.
It's to cover up your war crimes. There you go.
That's right.
That's
right. That's right.
Well, thank you everybody who watched tonight and commented along and hung out with us for a little while. We will be back on Thursday for AskCast as our regularly scheduled stuff. It'll be me and Roxy, Tina, and Al. So we'll see you all on Thursday. So thank you all again and have a good night. Bye.
Bye.